I'm Falguni Khanna. Um, Born and raised in India, but been in San Francisco for good 6, 7 years, and I'm a loving human being. I've just been very lucky to have a past where I grew up in India. So half my life I've lived in India, and the other half in United States. I was born and raised, and back home, India. Well, not anymore. San Francisco's become home, but back in India, it was I had a guru, and to take the word guru in the lightest form, a guru is somebody who brings you out of the darkness into light. And growing up, we got a chance to listen to his discourses, spiritual discourses for 9 days. And my mom and I, as kids, and that was our bonding thing that we would do, we would get together and we would have these days off from school or even a weekend if we could go listen to my guru give a talk for a few days. We would show up and we would attend these spiritual discourses. And it was, since I was a kid, I had this, inkling, this calling, this wanting to always be more. I always knew there was more to me, more than, not just to me, but more to life other than me and my personality. And I always was searching for that. And I felt like whenever I was around people who had these higher vibration thoughts, spiritual talk, or being able to just say, live your truth, find who you are, it made me feel at home. These conversations always hit home run for me, and I was always like, this feels right. And this, and his conversations were always about love, being honest and being compassionate. And I I was only 11 back then. There was a lot of work to be done still. I was just being introduced to this. So my journey began since I was 11 with my mother on this spiritual path of wanting to know myself and the better part of me, as a human being, and how could I be a better human being? And that was always a quest for me. What can I do to be a better human being? Has always been, my journey, and how can I touch people's lives? And from 11 to now that I'm 34, I feel like there have been a lot of changes, of course, along the way. But I try my best to come from that part called love, because I see a lot of lack of that in this, now more so than before. And even if one person can make a change if I can do that in people around me in my life, I feel like I've made a positive change on this planet. I always had this little thing that I would do. I would put 2 dots between my eyes with eyeliner. And I remember, I ran into Beyonce, the singer, and in LA at one point when I was a flight attendant, and she asked me, she's like, "What are these 2 dots for in between your eyes?" And I shared with her that these 2 dots are to connect people with eyes. So people would look into my eyes. And the moment you look into someone's eyes, the natural thing to do is smile at a stranger. And the moment you smile at a stranger, the stranger smiles back at you without even knowing you. But for that split second, you made them forget, their worries, what they're going through, and you made them smile. And if anything, if I could make people smile without knowing them, just giving them unconditional love and sharing that, my day was made. My good deed for the day as a human being was done. And I think that's where the journey sort of continued to. So yeah, I ventured into it when I was somewhat 11 with the help of my mom. And it's sort of been an ongoing quest, even every day, even to this day, even to this moment. So.
Do you find that love is something you might call a practical power in your life?
A practical pardon?
A practical power in your life. Has it actually made things happen for you in a positive way?
Well, yeah, certainly yes. It's more than practical. It's a huge power and it's a huge way of living for me. Um, I think most of my decisions come based on that, and it's I wouldn't even know what to do without that love in my life. Like all my friends, they say you have a family you grow into, and then you have a family that you create on this planet. And I feel I've been lucky enough to have a bit of both. I do have a family that I came into. Of course, my parents have deceased now. Both mom and dad have gone, long gone. And I do have a lovely sister that lives in India. But other than that, I feel um, the practical power or more just love has helped me create a whole new family that I am so grateful for. From Harold and John to my husband Rudra, who is a bundle of just love and a beautiful human being overall, to all the friends that I've surrounded myself with. I am so lucky and so blessed to have this life and to live this life and to be grateful for it because I can truly say I'm the most loved person on this planet, like, and believe it and feel it because I think that's my wealth. People have financial wealth and that too will appear in my life, but that's, knowing that you're loved by people that you're surrounded is the most beautiful gift. And I think I definitely it just makes me really happy to know that it's, call it practical power, call it, it just I'm just like, you have a big hug and you're surrounded in that. I'm like the person in the middle and like there is a whole circle of love around me. So there you go.
And you had the guru when you were younger, who
Yes.
perhaps taught you something about the beauty of love and the principles of love, the value of
Yes.
love, the power of love, and so on.
Yes.
Do you find yourself in any ways communicating to other people what your guru said to you? Perhaps not in the same terms exactly, perhaps stepping it down a bit,
Oh
or
yes.
yeah,
Certainly, but it's these conversations. I think I only like to bring up when they have been brought up by somebody else. I don't like to, force information down or start talking spirituality without person interested in having these conversations. Because I'm sure even you know this. If people are not interested, they're not going to listen. Only if you ask a question, that means somebody's truly interested in wanting to know more about, guru or my life or spirituality. And that is more of a very ask, and I will tell you much more than why don't I tell you about my guru, if that makes any sense.
do you work during the day? Do you have a kind of regular
I
job or
have
something?
I have multiple lives.
Yeah.
I do work in the evenings. Actually, I serve at a restaurant called Dosa in San Francisco, and I also see clients on Mondays for Reiki, Ayurveda, and for yoga. So I have as two different. One comes from the heart of what I would like to do, of course, and serving comes from the heart as well. If I can, if I'm not serving love and healing, I'm serving food on a platter and with a smile on my face. And I just love people. So I share that aspect of me at work. So wherever I go, I am beaming most of the time. That's when I'm sick. And then I just want to be in front of, the couch and in the couch and drinking tea and watching some TV, not thinking. So, or being.
So giving service and also healing as well is, as you're saying, totally
Yeah.
consistent with loving a loving heart, isn't it? I mean, it's to have to, if you like, to have to do a job which doesn't give you the contact with people and doesn't put you in a position of service or healing, perhaps like a manufacturing job or something of that sort. Although I suppose even in those circumstances you'd find a way of giving your love to your co-workers and so
Of
on,
course.
or
Of course.
even putting your heart into what you're making. And
True. Yes. But it would be very difficult for me. I have tried working without people around, and it can be a little challenging for me. I love interaction, and I love being able to just give in that way. So